The last time I cried was when my mother died. 4 shocking confessions, letting strangers from the internet vent. My twin sister ended herself just over a year ago and I didn't know why until yesterday. For context, we are fraternal twin sisters. We grew up in Connecticut, had a tough childhood with an abusive father and verbally abusive grandmother, and followed the same path largely as our mother until we were 18. Our father and mother are bitterly divorced and our father has not been in our lives for about half a decade now, not that we would ever want him back. My mother has been in partial isolation as a recluse for the past 14 months as a result of my twin sister's death. I am 20 now. I'm going to be brutally honest, as this is as much a healing, therapeutic vent as it is a confession. The suicide was a complete shock to me and many others. More so the timing rather than anything else. My twin and I went to the same boarding school for high school. This boarding school was our mother's alma mater, and after an incredibly tumultuous and traumatic childhood, we both struggled with mental health issues. Especially her. Pretty much every mental diagnosis, she had at one point or another been diagnosed with. In high school, she didn't make many friends at all, abused and was addicted to Adderall, and generally hid away from life and people. She also skipped classes sometimes because of anxiety. She eventually went to around 3 rehabs and the last one seemed to help her at last. She seemed to be on an upward trajectory. She finally started listening to me and our mother about applying to colleges. We were seniors by this point, and started to vocalize the kind of life she wanted for herself. Nothing ambitious, if anything it was under-ambitious. But we thought, anything is better than nothing. She seemed very happy and hopeful and made lots of jokes. Little did we know, she had been planning her final chapter in this lifetime during parts of this time and much more later. She tragically passed away less than a year after high school graduation. Besides myself, no one could understand why a girl who seemed to have it all, a wealthy parent, a great high school education, love from a parent, and natural beauty, though she didn't feel beautiful at all, would feel so distraught most days of every year. Of course, I struggled with our shared trauma of abuse from our father and understood that probably made up part of the difficulties she was facing, but that was definitely the tip of the iceberg, as she told me many times. During her first semester of college, right before the end of fall break, she killed herself in a car accident. I had panic attacks and sobbed uncontrollably for the following months and still do sometimes. I feel her around me when I call out for her, but it's just not the same, of course. I found a crumpled up note yesterday hidden in her old bedroom addressed to me that read, "I'm so terribly sorry, but I cannot be what Mom and society want me to be. I know you can understand this at least partly, as we share a closer bond to each other than anyone else in this world. I just do not see any path but failure, disappointment, or worse, hurting others. According to this society, I must be the best like Mom is at hobbies or at her job or anything, and since I am just not skilled nor cut out for the upper class, elitist lifestyle of high achievers while others starve, I will save a lot of heartbreak all around and exit before I let you all down. The world is burning and will soon be destroyed like society will be too by humans' hypocrisy and selfishness and apathy. I will see you again before you know it in the next life. See you in the light." This note was crumpled up inside her old mattress and had not been discovered before, and to be honest it is sending me on a real tailspin mentally and emotionally. I've cried for what feels like hours now. I haven't yet told my mom because I don't want to make her blame herself more. As for where I'm at now, my life took a real sharp right turn in an unexpected way. After my sister, my mother was overcome with grief as they were close. She has used and continues to use pretty much all of her life savings except her retirement money, of course, to advocate for saving the lives of other children or teens or people of any age who are in danger of severe depression to prevent more tragedies like my sister from occurring. I dropped out of college to help with this and am going to the local community college, which has been fine. I eventually plan to get my bachelor's degree, but I can't right now. It's crazy, sad, disgusting, and incredibly beautiful how something like my sister's tragedy can bring people together in ways that otherwise might not have happened and puts things into perspective. To anyone who might read this, thank you so much for honoring me with your attention and time. Somebody replied, "Stay strong for her. It's tragic." as every suicide story is. Don't feel bad for not seeing this. It's sadly easy to fake being happy. I know it will never be the same, but one day the sun will rise and shine again, and when this happens you can honor her by being happy. It will take time, and it's not an easy journey, but I believe in you. I'm sure my boyfriend is gay. My boyfriend is gay and it's painfully obvious to me and some of our close friends. I think my boyfriend does love me, but I really don't think the physical attraction is there for him. No. I do not think it's just because he doesn't think I specifically am not attractive. I have tried to ignore it for a really long time because I was thinking that he's just different and more sensitive than other men. I can't ignore it anymore. Throughout us being together, 2 of our friends have pointed out that he was definitely a little bit fruity, and I've always told them that it wasn't cool to say that and that they better not mention it to him. It's my relationship, not theirs. I do think it's becoming time for him to realize it himself because he's in so much denial. People on the internet have been calling him gay lately, and I'm hoping that it makes him realize that he's gay. I'll honestly love him regardless of what he is. Somebody replied, "My husband has 8 sisters and he grew up with only females. He has a lot of female attributes." What I'm saying is that someone can be who they are without putting it into words. Why does it have to be gay? Like if a male is cross-dressing, he can like that because he feels pretty. That doesn't have anything to do with being gay, but in a normal setting it would be considered a little bit gay. You should take people for who they are. Maybe he likes it when people call him gay. But he's attracted to females. Sexuality doesn't say anything on how you behave. I have met gay people who didn't display gay behavior because they thought it was useless. I also met one that was flamboyantly gay. He said he wanted people to see that he was himself, and he wanted guys to know he was single. There are so many views on this. I cried for an hour today. I am a 42-year-old man raising my 4 nephews, 12, 9, 5, and 3. I got custody of the younger 2 from my other brother in 2020. The older ones have been with me since 2015. I am pretty concerned about the 9-year-old. I am so completely burned out and feel unappreciated in general. Absolutely no one understands how difficult this is. Sometimes I imagine what my life would be like if my brothers had their shit together and didn't have kids with heroin addicts. I just want another dude to recognize what I'm doing and to show me empathy because I don't know one other dude doing what I'm doing. This just all came out today and I just cried. The last time I cried was when my mother died, so you know this is deep. Somebody replied, "I'm 41 and have been a cop for years. The changes you have created for these kids will be amazing. They may not show appreciation now, but when they are older they will realize they owe you the world." Being a parent, you can't expect understanding or appreciation from others, as until someone is in your shoes they won't really understand. Just remember, you have already changed their path in a positive direction to a great degree. Don't overstress yourself trying to create perfection with these 4 kids. All they need is a roof, food, and a lot of love. These kids may get anger issues or depression. This is not your fight and something the kids will have to work through. Just give them a tighter hug when it happens. I quit smoking plant. I feel so great. I feel so down. I, 27, just quit smoking 3 days ago. I didn't like the money I was spending, over $200 a week. I also had to smoke more and more to feel good, but after a while I was smoking just to feel normal. I have destroyed 2 relationships because of my relationship with drugs. It consumed my life and I was always more focused on getting my weed than taking care of my and my partner's needs. I became lazy and unmotivated. I would sit for hours smoking, ignoring my partner and responsibilities. I have been a heavy daily user for about a decade, and I am feeling the full effects of quitting. I slept maybe 3 hours last night, tossing and turning and sweating through my sheets, and that was after not being able to eat anything, and throwing up anything I forced myself to eat. I have these hot flashes and cold sweats that make me feel like in that moment death would be welcome. I want to cover myself with every blanket I have and simultaneously strip everything off, as a wave of hot and cold radiates from my crown down my body and back up my spine, and I sweat more in that moment than I have ever done working out. I know that in a few days I'll be able to sleep normally and eat normally again, and in a few weeks I will not feel these hot cold flashes again. It's just so hard when I know that one joint will make these feelings go away, for a precious little bit of time, but they will come right back. Weaning myself off of it won't work, as if I have access to weed, I will smoke it all and be in the same situation I am now. No, the only way for me to quit has to be cold turkey, and hot showers. I am already starting to see improvements in my cognitive functions. I can hold thoughts in my head longer, I am more focused and attentive, and my internal timing seems to be more accurate. The reason I post this is because I feel a fool. I was the person saying weed is good, no negative impacts on my life and livelihood, can't form an addiction or dependency on it. What an idiot I was, as my doctor diagnosed me with marijuana use disorder less than a year later. But I am done with it and I am never going back. Somebody replied, "Congratulations. I heard a lot of people say, oh, it's just plant, or you can't be addicted to it, man. It's impossible." When I quit smoking, don't let anyone discredit your accomplishment. This totally screwed up my life as well and turned me into a lazy, isolated person, but I couldn't stop. Congratulations and keep it going. You'll feel back to normal without weed eventually. I hope you enjoyed these confessions. Let me know in the comments what advice you would give to these people. And subscribe to the channel to hear more confessions and thought-provoking content.